Welcome back to Magic the Gathering Online Legacy event number 2, or the two-mans. I think I'm just going to refer to this as the two-mans when I label it, or when I'm talking about it from now on. This is Rock vs. Dredge, round 1, game 2, and we are going to be on the draw. Our opponent, as far as we know, could still be playing the LED version. He didn't get very many cards in. We didn't see a Faithless Looting. We didn't see an LED. Typically in the two-man room, you're not going to find the LED versions just because they cost infinite amounts of money, and most of us don't want to have to pay that for something that's not actually real. That being said, we have surgical extractions mainly because we need to be able to deal with that on turn 0. I mean, the deck is built to explode, and due to LEDs, it now has consistency as well, or due to Faithless Looting, it now has consistency as well. Our opening hand here, which should pop up in just a moment, there it goes, isn't the greatest. We have first turn, we can Zenith for an Arbor. Second turn, if we draw a land, we have a Knight. If we don't, we have a Bob. But that's where the decision comes in. We have to make that decision of, do we get the Bayou or the Savannah? In this case, we get the Bayou simply because we have Bob in hand. We could easily go get the Savannah and then play top and top the turn after that. But Bob is going to show us 2 cards either way. Drawing the second surgical means that the only thing we're really worried about at this point is them going to Ball Therapy on the very first turn. So, yeah, that's this part. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and go to the next misplay that I know. Alright, and here we are. Our opponent casts Careful Study. There's a Troll in the yard that was discarded to the study. There's a Thug in the yard, which I completely miss. Because of that, our opponent is allowed to stay in the game. They get a little bit further on. And we did draw the white source for the Knight. I mean, we could easily just take over the game right here. There's nothing that our opponent really can do to take advantage of things. But, I mean, if we took that ability, then they'd be left with just Stinkweed Imps. So, let's rewind. Alright, so if we took that Thug, our opponent would have Stinkweed Imps, and that's it. They're all in the deck. So, I mean, you can, if you really take the time, you can look through and you can see, okay, our opponent has 3 Tarnished Citadels, 4 Gemstone Mines, 3 Colosseums, let's see, 4 City of Brasses, 3 Breakthroughs, so chances are they have a Breakthrough in hand, 3 Bridges, so we know they have a Bridge in hand, 3 Therapies, the 4th one's over there, 1 Chain of Vapor. Well, we can actually see what's in their hand, so we don't have to worry about like trying to figure it out. But I mean, if you couldn't see their hand, you can go through and make guesses. Like, it turns out our opponent is playing the 4th Breakthrough. Our opponent's playing 2 Tireless Tribes, so chances are they have 1 to 2 up here. I mean, this is an older version of Dredge. It's still effective. It's just not as quick. We know that they're still on the Zealot plan, so we know that Pulse would be very good. We know what's coming at this point, and we could have made a decision based on what we know. I mean, what is this? They have 4 out of however many out of 49 cards that could possibly be a Stinkweed Imp on their next draw, and even if they do that, they still have to figure out a way to discard it because they don't have a land. So we should have gone after the Thug. I just completely missed it. Also, I wanted to go on point as saying I am aware that Gravecrawler requires a creature in play. I actually figured out how to do annotations because I accidentally said in hand. Gravecrawler would be berserk if all you had to do was just show it, and then you could play, or show a zombie in hand and you could play all the other ones. It'd be great for standard. They could never deal with it if you had a sack outlet. So, yeah, that was my bad on that, and I'll try to limit those. The problem being that as I'm playing and talking, I tend to mix up a lot of the different zones and different cards. So I'll try and cut that to a minimum. As I do this more and more, I'll probably become more comfortable with it and have a couple more, or do it less frequently. There we go. There's the word that we're talking about. So that's it for this game of things that I saw. We've recorded this much longer than the actual round went. There's not much that they can do at this point. So we will be back for round 2.